You're listening to the Get Meal Prep Show, a podcast about meal planning strategies that help you positively nourish your body, learn about nutrition, and most importantly, get dinner on the table. You know that this is a podcast for you if you've ever thought, oh no, it's 3 o'clock and I have no idea what's for dinner. We dive deep into meal planning methods and meal planning strategies that help you prepare healthy home-cooked meals that doesn't leave you feeling like you're tied down to the kitchen. I'm your host, Susan Watson, registered dietitian, certified intuitive eating counselor, and meal planning strategist for the online course Get Meal Prepped, which can be found at www.nutritionacademy.co. My team at A Nutrition Academy and my counseling practice, A Little Nutrition, has formed the Get Meal Prep method that helps people improve their eating habits by cooking whole foods and not relying all the time on convenience food products. Aside from our online course, you can work with us via our one-on-one coaching services. You can find the links to our packages in the show notes below this recording. We're so happy to have you here today and share this episode with you. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the Get Meal Prep Show on iTunes and leave a rating and review. It might not seem important, but your review can make a big impact and help us continue to deliver amazing content and keep bringing you the best meal planning strategies so that you can be the healthiest you ever. It's super easy to leave a review. You can leave a review from your podcast app. Simply search the Get Meal Prep Show, click reviews, and then write a review. We would love to hear from you. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hi everyone. Today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about online grocery shopping. And I've just found that since online grocery shopping has come about, it's really impacted my meal planning and has really helped me in ways that I don't think I would have been able to do years ago before. So I guess my question is, why isn't everybody doing this online shopping? So if you're not familiar with what online shopping is, most major grocery stores have an online shopping option where you can log on with a username and password and shop online, pick all of your groceries, whether it's fresh or canned or boxed goods, and then you can schedule a pickup time. And there's usually a $5 or a $3 charge for this, but you pick your scheduled time and you pay for it, and then pretty much when you have your scheduled time, you drive to the store, you pull into a parking spot, you let the store know that you're there by calling a phone number that they either email you or is on a sign, and they come out and they load your groceries into your car for you and you drive away. So you don't even have to walk into the store. You don't have to get hung up by, buying extra stuff that you didn't intend to when you went to the store to, just pick up milk, and you end up coming home with $100 worth of other things. There's just so many benefits, but, I've talked to some people about doing online shopping and they're like, yeah, I haven't quite got into it yet, or yeah, it really seems like a good idea, but I'm just not too sure. So I just want you to think about maybe your reasons why you wouldn't do online shopping. And we can, talk about it later. You can email me. Our email address is info@nutritionacademy.co, and, continue the conversation, because it's one of those things, again, that has been a real game changer for me. So one of the things that I like about it the most is that if I'm doing my order, you can start your order almost like a grocery list, where it's, you log into your account, and when you think of something that you've run out of stock, you start your order and you can start checking it off. So a lot of the times I start my order about 2 or 3 days before I'm actually going to place it, and I'm starting to think about things that I'm running out of, things that I want to get extra of, and I go ahead and I start my order. Then what I'll do is I'll decide what I want to cook the next week off of my master meal list. We talk about that in the Get Meal Prepped course. And I'll pick out my 3 or 4 recipes that I'm going to cook, and then take a look at the ingredient list and go ahead and place my order with, the things that are out of stock that I need to get. And then when I'm ready, I will place the order, and I'll choose a time in my calendar that's going to fit into my schedule. I live out of town, so I'm taking a look at the times where I might be driving to the city to pick up my order, and then I'll choose a location because depending on which store or grocery you're using, you would pick your location at that time. So sometimes I'm starting my order and I realize like, oh, I'm going to the west end of the city, so I'll pick up my groceries there, or I will be at a different area of town, and it's really neat because you can schedule basically wherever you want to pick up your groceries, and then I'll go ahead and I'll place the order. And I've been doing it for about 2 years now since online shopping has come about, and I've only come across, a very few hiccups. So some of the hiccups I hear from clients is that, well, I really like to go in and, take a look at what I'm purchasing with that fresh produce. And you know what? I'm going to say that out of all the orders I've ever done, I've never gotten, say, like a bad bag of apples or, really wilted lettuce or herbs or whatever I've been ordering. And I kind of think that with this online program, the grocers really want to make it, go well, and they would hate to have any sort of bad reputation about, online groceries are the poorly picked, right? It's not the case. It's actually almost like they go above and beyond and pick the better or the fresher, and I think it's because they just don't want that program to have that bad reputation. I mean, this is my guess. I don't really know. I haven't investigated, but I've never had, again, badly or poorly chosen fresh items. But if you're really concerned about that, then do your whole grocery shopping for, your canned goods or your boxed items that don't necessarily need to be fresh, and then, whip in and just pick, your fresh items that you need. That will still save you a ton of time and a ton of money. So that's kind of my suggestion for you who, want to go and actually, be really particular about what you're purchasing when it comes to the fresh items. But, other things, a flat of chicken is a flat of chicken. A lot of the frozen vegetables that I buy, especially if you're used to always buying the same thing, it really doesn't change. So that's the one thing that I really like about it. I had one person tell me that, I really still prefer to go to the store so I can get my steps in, or, so that I can use that as my, activity to get out and walk around. Well, okay, that's great for you. And I really respect that, and that's great. But for myself, I'm dragging a 6 and an 8-year-old into the store, and right now they want to buy everything. And so yes, I still take them every once in a while for some of those lessons about no, or you have to wait, or one treat item for the week. But for the most part, if I'm really busy, it's a big headache to drag your kids to the store. So for me, it's more about keeping them out of the store, being able to get in and get out in under an hour. My whole grocery shopping experience, I used to have to do half a day because I would shop 2 different stores to kind of get the best deal. And now I can get it all done in an hour, which is amazing. And I can use that extra time to be doing some more meal prep in the kitchen, or, other things in life that you might want to enjoy other than grocery shopping and meal prep. So those are, some things that I've heard from people. Some people will say, oh, I'm not really that tech savvy, or, I really, think it'll take more time to go ahead and do the order. The programs that I've used from the different grocery stores that I've used, it's very user friendly. And one thing that I like is that once you place an order, it saves all of the items that you've ordered in kind of a recently purchased list. So when you log back in a second time, you can click onto that recently purchased tab. And if you're buying the same thing every week or all the time, you don't have to go into the search engine and look up, say, 1% milk, or, maybe your specialty soy milk that you get, or whatever. Like, it's already there. And so the first order you might do might take you 15 or 20 minutes to look up everything on your shopping list. But the second time you go in, it's way shorter, like maybe 5 minutes. If you know what you want to get, you can whip in and just click what you need and go ahead and purchase it. So when it comes to payments, sometimes people, depending on the grocery store, you might have to, have your payment and they come to the car and you can do your payment there. or some stores I've heard that you might have to go in and pay depending on your payment method. For me, I just use my credit card and they charge my credit card. I've had some people a little bit concerned about checking over your orders and making sure that they didn't short ship you or, short you on anything. And I would have to say the accuracy rate has always been 100%. Um, and and that I think is great. I've had times where I'm shopping just for myself, just for my family, but I've also done some really large orders for cooking classes. So we're talking $250 worth of items, and they've always been accurate, and I've needed them to be accurate because I'm doing these large, big cooking classes. So, again, I think they have pickers, they have people that double check, and again, I think they really want this program to be successful, so they've got extra measures to make sure that there aren't mistakes. And often, there will be items that are out of stock. Or there'll be items that, they don't have on hand. And what they'll do is they'll either call you or email you in advance saying, like, would you like a substitution? We don't have this brand, but we have this brand. And you have the option to go ahead and say yes or no. So one time I had ordered mandarin oranges and they substituted like navel oranges. And I really wanted the mandarin oranges for this recipe. So I got that substitution request and I just said no. And whereas sometimes, if maybe I just need apples and maybe I ordered gala and they wanted to say green apples, I like both, so I'll just say yes. And this one time I remember I had done my order and then I forgot an item. So I went into the store and had gone and picked up that one item that was not on my list. And I remember that they had emailed me a substitution, yet I'm walking through the store and I see the item that I wanted to buy and they said, no, we don't have it in stock, but there was a whole shelf of it. So when they came to deliver my order to the car, I asked them, I said, yesterday you said that this was out of stock, but I was there right now and it's there. And she's like, well, when they are doing the picking, if it's out of stock at that moment or they can't find it, then they go ahead and say it's out of stock. But, by the time you come to pick up your order, they might have stocked the shelves again or they might have got it. So she recommended to always ask if it's something that you really want because often it actually is in stock. So last week I had ordered chicken and when they came to the car, they said, you know what, we thought we had it, it's out of stock. And I said, well, do you mind just double checking? They're like, yeah, no problem. They checked it. Sure enough, it had been replaced and they had some. So, that's something interesting about the shipments. And then I think one of the only other times that I'd say that maybe things just didn't go as planned was a couple weeks ago. I was away at our cottage on the weekend. I did my order when I was there. It was on a Saturday night, and I quickly plugged in what I wanted to do because on my way home I passed through the city and I wanted to pick up my groceries so that I was able to do some meal prep when I got home on Sunday. And I noticed once I got to the store I never got any emails and nobody called me about substitutions. And I thought, this is weird. So when I pulled in, I gave them a call saying, hey, I'm here for my order. And they're like, oh, we should tell you we've had an, I guess, national-wide crash on our system, and everything is kind of screwed up. And that was the only time like my order was really royally screwed up. I had ordered about $100 worth of groceries, and they brought about $60 worth of stuff to my car, and a lot of it was wrong. And I just had to laugh it off because I felt really bad for the poor clerk that had come to the car, because if mine was this screwed up and, she just started her shift, I thought, oh man, she's going to have a really bad day. Now, I think that this was a really unique situation. It's never happened in the 2 years I've been shopping. And she did say it was, nationwide. It went all across Canada. And I can imagine how many people's orders were screwed up and people racing for last minute. So if that happened to be your very first day that you decided to do online shopping and your order got screwed up, it is not typical. It doesn't happen like that. It really was just this one time. So, anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on about online shopping and we can continue this conversation, but I do encourage you to try to do it because you're going to save hours, and once you get into the habit of it, so I talk a lot about habit formation, you start thinking about when I'm going to do my order, when am I going to figure out what my recipes are, and it's just this part of meal planning that becomes part of your life, and you know the day that you do your order, or you know the day that you start your order, and it saved me so much time, especially with kids and going into the store. And actually, it saved me a lot of money too. You know, if I go into a grocery store, I'm probably spending about 50% more than I really needed to. And with an online order, I'm just ordering what I need. There's no like pop-ups and add-on features built into the programs. I'm gonna say yet because I'm sure they will. But I just order what I need, pay for it, and go pick it up, and I don't even have to enter into the store. And that's something that I really love, and I really encourage everybody to give it a shot. So, anyways, until later on, until the next recording, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Get Meal Prep show. If you have any questions about today's episode or you would like to email us, you can at info@nutritionacademy.co. We'd love to hear from you, and if you have any suggestions or different topics for the show, we'd be happy to hear from you. You can also find me on Instagram at @alittlenutrition, and I have lots of meal planning photos and tips on my stories, so I'd love to connect with you there as well. Again, that's @littlenutrition is my handle. Anyways, until next episode, see you then. Bye.